What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set.
But if we get rid of the Confederate flag, how am I going to know who the dangerous white people are? And the flag had a couple upsides. Let's just be real about it. I ain't saying keep it around, but I grew up in the South. I can't tell you how many times the Confederate flag came in handy. You stopping for gas at a strange place at 2 a.m, you see that flag hanging from the window, you know this is not the place to get gas. You just keep it moving. What's the rush to get rid of the flag? Especially if you're white. If you're white, you should want to keep the flag for a little while. These black folks to know you cool. Because if you white and you're not a...
Whoopsie.
That's the one thing that helps us identify you. You get rid of that flag, we'll be... We got to figure out a way to know who the cool white people... Cool white people, we just got to start giving y'all wristbands or handstands. Something you can show in a dark alley. Let us know you down with the struggle. That'd be cool. Give me your money, white dude. Like, whoa. I'm so sorry. Come on through. Come on through. No, they got the wristbands. They go, listen, put this wristband on. In case it go down, we'll have that wristband on. Folks talking about they wear the Confederate flag.
That dude is hilarious.
Dude, I often like wonder to myself, like, when I send you, because there's like 3 crying faces and then there's the skulls. I'm like, okay, what level are we at with like dying laughing at certain things? And I love
I think
that
we know without even having to say, but we know we're dying laughing. When we legit put the skulls, we're dying laughing.
Yeah, when there's like several dozen skulls, that
Yeah.
we don't like what's the word, exhaust that incorrectly. So let's get right down to it. Since you started this off with that, there was this thing last week, and I just honestly forgot because we were so busy talking about all of the things last week.
It was a busy week last week.
It was pretty busy. So before Monday Night Raw airs on the USA Network, there's this other show that is very famous in my household with my parents, and it's called Family Feud, that Steve Harvey hosts. And so there was I was just super proud of it, because when he's like, name the top and I knew the number one answer before and everyone, like my parents, my sister, my significant other, they didn't want to acknowledge that my answer was the number one answer, and I was like, come on, this is it.
Come on, son.
So I'm going to see if you get it.
Okay.
Name a famous person known for wearing a robe.
And I'm getting the number one answer. A famous person known for wearing a robe.
There's 8 answers, and I have all of them listed here.
Okay.
But I want to see if
most
you get the number one answer.
I think I already got it.
I think you do too, because you know me, and we know each other. Go ahead.
Woo! Ric Flair. Ah.
See, this is our new segment that we're doing, and
Cool.
you and I are going to be trading off on this week to week.
I like it.
I do too. Okay. So you only have one X. Who's your next guess?
We're just trying to get the first one or one of the 8.
One of the 8.
And he wasn't one of the 8? Wow. Famous person with a robe.
I have all of them listed. I actually have them listed in order of like, boom. This one was number 2. This one was number 3. Right. Someone guessed this. First X. Someone guessed this. Second X. And we're going to talk about all of these. And then someone guessed number 1 after that. And then 6.
I'm surprised Ric Flair's not on there.
I kind of am. I mean, we talk a lot of wrestling, so I understand where like our mentality would go in that direction.
I'm trying to think of famous people who wear robes. I am zonking out on this.
This is what's going to make it fun. Because you're going to guess, and then I'm going to throw you the double unless you get this right.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Famous people with robes. Famous people with robes. Do I get a lifeline? Jeez, why is this so hard? I'd have thought that first one would have been right off the bat.
And if I'm being 100% honest, Ric Flair deserves to be on this list before a couple of these other people, for sure. Yeah. Because you're gonna be real mad when I start telling you all of these.
I'm really gonna be mad. I know I'm gonna be mad. That's a def. I'm definitely gonna be mad in a minute.
Yeah.
Robe.
Come on.
I'm gonna be so mad in a few minutes.
Because I'm gonna list all 8 of them, and okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like looking at the list, half of them, I'd say fairly, you're gonna be like, I would have never guessed that. But the other half, you're gonna be like, what the
whoopsie?
So mad.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Timestamp wise, you want it in Messenger, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Oh man.
I am going to allow you however long you want, honestly, because we can just draw this out. Or
this has been one set.
This is one set. Or I can give you like I can just start counting down from like 8 to 7 to 6 and see if you start like thinking of other people. So maybe honestly, number 8, Ric Flair belongs on this list before I'm just gonna say Elvis.
Oh,
Ric Flair belongs on the list before Elvis does. And I will say
Elvis did a robe though. I was thinking like the scarf with Elvis though. Well, I guess he had like the. It wasn't like a robe, but it was like his
wardrobe. Yeah.
See, that's where they got this thing. Whoopsie. Robe, but it's like a cape.
Yeah, basically biscuit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're anxious to hear about the rest, aren't you?
I mean, if they're going with cape as a robe, I'm just gonna put one flat out, and I know it's probably not gonna be on there because then I'm thinking then it's
if
gonna
you
be
say
something
Batman,
wrong.
it's not, nope, he's not on the list.
There you go. You know me too well. That's the second X.
Yeah. Actually, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's Supreme Court. I don't pay attention to politics like that. So
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of politicians, well, all right. Do you have any guesses after the fact?
No, even with these two that you've given me, I'm like,
I have to go back like in order of what they said.
Yeah.
I have the YouTube video that I actually want you to watch because it is. All right, hold on.
Yeah, you'll have to send it to me.
I am sending it to you actually right at the moment. This is going to be an impromptu watch along. Okay.
Yeah. Just give me the
countdown.
3, 2, 1.
You cue the countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going. Whoopsie. Really going. Whoopsie. See, I'm thinking robe all the time. Okay. Get the hell out of here. What did you say? Steve Harvey's like, I never seen that. Whoopsie. Well, we know who Nobi Goba's on it.
Steve, I'm gonna have to go with Hugh Hefner.
When have you seen Hugh Hefner wear a robe?
Yeah.
Is above Jesus. I was going to say Julius Caesar. I really was going to say Julius Caesar or something from that era.
Queen Elizabeth.
Mm. Good answer.
Supreme Court.
Yeah. Come on, son.
Welcome to
One
set.
He's doing a great job on that show, might I add.
He's awesome. I love him. He's so good.
Have you seen Godfrey's impression of Steve Harvey?
I
think I've sent it to you and my brother before.
okay,
All
dude.
right, let me look this up because you're
and let's do this like in real time.
Yeah.
Send it,
and we'll cut to it if anything.
Yeah. Send it to my Facebook Messenger, and we'll do the countdown.
Okay. Ready? All right.
You give me the countdown. I got it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
You were asking and we answered. You're like, what the fuck? No. He jumped at the mic. I just said. Wait. So he was in. Barbie like, I'm gonna look at that answer. What? Always surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Somebody says. His impressions are too good. Oh man. Watch out, whoopsie.
Oh, Bill Burr. It literally trickled right into there. Should we talk about the thing that hurts, or
no pun?
All the pun.
No pun, all puns. Yeah, very tough way to lose that game. We can say the refs killed it, but honestly, after sleeping on it, our defense didn't adjust to the Kansas City offense in the second half. And the two things, one being the determining factor, that fumble in the first half by Hurts, which he couldn't do anything about. That was horrible.
Hey,
but then again,
before you continue, quarterbacks make mistakes, and it's not like he did it multiple times throughout the game. It was
and that's what I was going to say. The fact that he came back and scored another touchdown the next time he was out there, like he totally X'd that out of his mind. So, I mean, he had a phenomenal game. Over
watched
300 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. So
I watched the highlights back like 3-4 hours ago, and All right, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a
Yes.
small cute story to tell, and it's before the Phillies went to the World Series. Cheyenne stopped off somewhere and she was like, "Oh my God, there's World Series gear," and
Yeah.
she spent like $200 on like stuff for like this gray thing that I was just wearing, and
Uh-huh.
she just saw a few days ago, like, oh, they have like an Eagles tent at this spot, and she wanted to stop at. I was like, don't you jinx it. And my mother got us these like conference champion shirts.
Mm-hmm.
They just came in like today after the fact when we
Right.
ate that big L. Which I told her, hey, your intentions were good. It doesn't feel like a jinx because we
No.
weren't wearing it before the fact. But you were talking about upgrading your jersey depending on the outcome
The
of this
outcome of the
game.
game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that real fast. I am getting a Jalen Hurts jersey because
I eventually will. Yeah. I'm not going to get it right now. I'll probably wait until closer to when the season starts, though.
He proved to me he made so many bomb plays last night. Yeah, I was like, I think he's our guy for a long time. Like,
He's 24, 25 years old. He is locked in.
Yeah.
He's getting paid. He's locked in.
my
And-
mom.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, just the fact, again, I was looking at a lot of Jalen Hurts stuff today too, and the way that he carried himself over this, like, kind of reminisce me of like a championships person's mentality of like, you know, you don't put your head down on these things. You learn from them and use them as motivation for next season to be like, you know, hey, when I'm in this situation again, I'm going to be more prepared. You know, everybody would have been more expecting him to make a lot more mistakes. I expect, and like I think I told you, I'm expecting him to at least make an error tonight. Don't say it's a jinx or anything, because, you know, it's his first Super Bowl appearance. 9 times out of 10, a lot of players make so many errors on their first Super Bowl appearance. So I was expecting him to at least make an error. So with the fumble he had, I'm like, all right, that's his error. Let's see how he bounces back for this, because they definitely were the first time, you know, in that second half, they were coming from behind, which they haven't been used to in a while. So they had to prove themselves to get back in the game. They did. I mean, with all of the defensive and special teams things that happened, but yeah, the way that he carried himself and saying that, you know, I'm proud of this team, and these are times where, you know, we came up a little bit short, but I'm going to use this as motivation. And I've been in this situation before because he's been in college championship games where he's lost it. So he's using this as motivation. And I think this kid's going to keep on improving. That's the scary part about it. He's only 24, 25 years old. He has so much more room to grow. He put down 300 plus yards in his first Super Bowl. That's nuts. Two rushing touchdowns for 70 yards combined, I think. Again, I'm not a stats guy, but I'm looking at those. They were all in my mind. And the fact that you don't see that from a QB a lot in the Super Bowl. So he put on a hell of a performance. And I just got to give all the credit to his first Super Bowl appearance. That was a phenomenal performance by Jalen Hurts.
Hey, I was on here a couple weeks ago and I was like, the Eagles are going to do it. And I was like so adamant, like, hey, confident.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a hot take right now and say Jalen Hurts is going to win 3 Super Bowl rings with the Eagles right now. And I think that's very fair because if you watch him back, it's like, dude's killing it.
Yeah.
It's fair to say there are, you have your Josh Allen, your Joe Burrow. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many young up and coming quarterbacks right now.
Yep. Yep.
And look, I will never diss Pat Mahomes and say he's a bad quarterback. He's awesome.
He's up there for a reason.
Yeah, I agree. But he lost to Tom Brady because Tom Brady needed to spank him and say, "Hey, it's not your time yet, you little
whoopsie."
Like, and that was basically what he did.
I'm still in the league.
I'm still in the league
until
I leave. Then you can have it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I think we're definitely going to be seeing the Chiefs and Eagles in there again. If not next year, in the coming years, we're going to see that matchup again. We're definitely going to see that matchup again.
I 100% agree, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to give Pat Mahomes his receipt for that loss that we just ate. 100%. It's going to be like, oh, that thing you did back in 2023. No. Yeah, I think, and this isn't me just being like a diehard Eagles fan, like my buddy that we were talking about. Like watching that game last night, I'm like, dude, our O-line is so strong, man. I think our defense just really let us down in that second half hard. The fumble.
And it was hard. I mean, you really can't see if it was like the defense, or a lot of people are blaming the defensive coach, Gardner. A lot of people are saying he might be up to be fired, blah, blah, blah. I mean, nope. Don't quote me out if this isn't something that's going to happen, but a lot of people are saying, oh, he might be leaving. But, it's just crazy on the fact that we had like 80 sacks coming into this game, and we couldn't get them home once out of that. And I was telling my brother, I think we're at least going to get them home at least 5 times tonight. We won't get to, we're not going to get to them every play because, their defensive line or offensive line to him is really good too. You basically were seeing 2 of the best offensive teams colliding last night.
Well, and that's
so, but the fact that we never got to him once was amazing.
And that's what I was just going to say. Like, nobody's getting fired on the Eagles team right now because y'all made it to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't want to hear people complaining that, oh, you didn't do your job to get the Super Bowl win. No. You went 14-3 through the regular season. You got to the Super Bowl. I'm not interested in hearing any of the coaches getting fired. If I'm being honest, it's everybody everybody just needs to look at each other and be like, all right, well, we ate the big L. Now, what do we do to make sure we don't do that again? People need that chance, right? And that, to me,
and I think Sirianni did a great job for his first year too. And I think, we had the coach to prove it. I mean, we always have the people on our on the Eagles or the Philadelphia squads that have something to prove. Because last year Jalen Hurts didn't really have that great of a year as he had this year. So a lot of people coming into this year were saying he's not a franchise player. He can't throw. He can't run. He's never going to be able to make it to a Super Bowl. And he came in firing off. And I said this earlier in the season, like, he is on fire. And I think we were at 5-6-0. And I was like, this team is on fire. I mean, and I didn't want to say Super Bowl at that time, but we were all thinking Super Bowl. We just didn't want to say it. But like you said a couple minutes ago, the Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl a lot more than what we expect in these next couple of years. We have the team. Again, we might go through a couple roster things because that's the thing with football is, like, people got to get paid. Jalen Hurts hasn't gotten paid yet, so they got to pay him. I'm not sure if what AJ's AJ Brown's situation is, which he came up big last night, which I really wanted to see him come up big. He had that big touchdown, and he had a couple, good touches. I would like to hope he's staying on the team for next year. Devontae Smith, we know he's coming back. I think Sanders, he's a free agent, so we're hoping to keep him. So it's a matter of who we're going to be able to pay. So that's going to be the thing. And the same thing what happened in the offseason in our championship season in 2017, 2018. Everybody was like, okay, well, who's going to be going? Who's going to be staying? Same thing's going to be happening in this offseason. Who's going to be staying on the team? Who's going to be going? So I don't think we're obviously going to hear anything until the next couple weeks because, they're just going to be, letting this kind of simmer down and letting the whole team digest what happened. It's just hard. It's hard to finish a perfect season by winning or losing to a field goal. Now, let's talk about the ending of the game real quick, because we could talk about the defense, we could talk about everything leading up to that, but the biggest thing about this game is the ending. I'll let you go first. How did you feel about the ending of the game? And you know what part I'm talking about.
It depends. How angry do people want to see me right now? Because not joking. Look, the Chiefs, they ran the clock down. They were just doing their part. The Eagles had no timeouts left, right?
For the reason they were trying to conserve the clock as much as they could, but they definitely didn't want Hurts to get back on that ball because they knew he was going to run down that field. That's why the Chiefs were definitely trying to run down the clock. But with that holding call, the refs just gave them the win even more.
Well, and that's the thing is Jalen Hurts. How old is he? Do you remember? 24.
24, 25 years old. I'm not sure which one.
Hold on.
Yeah. But, I am 100% confident that if we would have had at least a minute 15 left.
He's 24 years old. And
okay,
he knew what was happening at the end because they took the camera to him and he sat there and said, all right, I know what you're doing. You're screwing me out of exposing you because I could come out here and win this game. And it was well played by the Chiefs. And I will never be this Eagles fan that's like, oh, the Chiefs didn't deserve, like, hey, you figured it out. But like you said, by a field goal in the last 5 minutes when it was tied 35-35, if both teams could put 35 points on the board and tie each other, it's like, dude. And like you said, winning by a field goal, absolutely.
When you know they're gonna make it, it's like the toughest. That was the toughest, like 2-3 minutes when you know that's what the ending of the game was going to be, because you can just tell once they got that last little run they had before that holding call. You're like, yeah, I mean, they're in field goal range. They're just trying to ice as much time off this clock. But like I said, the holding call just iced the game for them because it gave them, the extra 5 yards.
I text
and
you
more time and more time off the clock.
I text you about that
whoopsie
holding call this morning and was like, the game would have went way different. And if Jalen didn't fumble the ball, and like we said, people make mistakes. Like it happens. Quarterbacks, they do the stuff. Tom Brady's done it. Like it is what it is. But the Eagles had plenty of and people aren't going to like this. The Eagles had plenty of opportunities to win the game. They did.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about the field goal from the Chiefs where it doinked and it just bounced to the left? I mean,
I was like,
that to me was like, we're winning this game. and then it didn't happen, and I was just, I mean, like a lot of other people, pretty upset. But also, I was like,
Yeah.
why didn't we get the job done? And I was like, you know what? Jalen Hurts is 24 years old, and I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? Throw that guy plenty of money, extend his contract, build your like defense, because the O-line is fantastic. If I'm being honest, and not that the defense is bad, but the O-line showed up in the Super Bowl last night, and we just
Mhm. We have all the weapons we need on offense right now. You know.
and our defense just couldn't handle the Chiefs, which is a testament to the Chiefs O-line. And again, acknowledging how great that, you know, Pat Mahomes and his connection with his weapons also,
Yep.
right?
Mhm. We just couldn't stop Travis Kelce. That was the biggest thing too.
That
Kelce was just running all down that field. We didn't have a thing to stop him. And
we did-
again,
yeah.
he's the best tight end in the league. We just didn't have a thing to stop him. He was going all down that field. So,
He-
you know, I mean, you can't stop. He's, you know, good for what he is, and for him to kind of just do what he was doing too. You know,
Yeah.
again, it's learning curves and that's sports. I mean, you win some, you lose some, but it's the more of how you, you know, learn from those failures to be able to, when you're in those positions again, to be able to not continue to make those mistakes. And like you said, you know, we're gonna be back in this same position. I'm not saying next year. If so, cool. I know going into next year we have a really hard schedule next year. I think they put out the schedule for next year. We have a pretty tough schedule next year. But with the way we've been playing, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to go 14 and 3 again. We could easily win 10 to 12 games again with the way we played easily. But yeah, we're definitely going to be number one in our
Postseason
division.
contenders. Yeah. So
we're going to be postseason contenders for a little while. Absolutely. 100%.
for me, it's I don't want to hear this nonsense
Whoopsie.
where people are like, "Oh, the Eagles, you had a simple schedule." I want the Eagles to have a tough and competitive schedule, and us go into the postseason, and us go win the Super. Like, I would rather that story than, oh, we just rolled in there and beat the Chiefs just by chance. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I would rather that story. That's something that,
Yeah.
I mean, I would like, you know, you and I to tell Lil Tone about when he's old enough to understand it, and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, we won the Super Bowl 2017 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Now we can brag about that because we beat Tom Brady, you know.
Oh yeah.
But if we have a hard schedule and we get through it and we win and are the top dog at the end, that's pride, right?
Mhm.
You can't be I shouldn't say you can't be proud by winning the Super Bowl with an easy schedule, because your schedule is just given to you by the
Mhm.
NFL. But our schedule's not published yet, right? I think it's
Unless it was just a leak thing that somebody put out a couple weeks ago during the season, but I'm not sure if it was an official schedule, but we had some teams on there that we hadn't played in a while. I can't really remember which ones. I don't want to start naming names, but it's definitely a lot tougher than this season.
well,
So
we need to face some of the AFC teams, because let's be honest, the AFC is super strong. Like,
yeah,
we're talking Chiefs, Bengals, Bills.
I think I think the Raiders were on there, so we might be playing the Raiders. I'm not sure if it's home or away.
Yeah.
That's the only one I'm going to say that I would think that we might be playing is the Raiders, which we rarely play the Raiders. So I think, like you said, I think there's a couple AFC teams that are on there that we rarely get to play.
Yeah.
So that'll be some tough games that we can, say, okay, well, we came into this season and we had some tough games, and either we won or lost those. Let's see how they do, blah, blah, blah. But moral of the story, we have an Eagles team that's going to be postseason ready for the next couple years, 100%. Whether we're going to be in the Super Bowl every year, I can't say that, but we are going to be in the postseason a lot in these next couple years, for at least the next 5 to 10 years, I'd say.
Hard take said 3 rings. So postseason,
and that's an easy, bet. I would bet that like 3. That's not bad.
Yeah, but I would say we're in the postseason through 2035, so the next like 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and winning 3 of those 12. People are going to say Pat Mahomes is going to take 4, 5, 6, and it's like, I understand he's good. But I agree with Bill Burr with his. You ever play Frisbee? Because he does this thing where it's like, here you go.
Yeah. Like he's playing craps. Like,
yeah. Yeah, take a
whoopsie
on this right here. Yeah, it's Eagles 3 in the next 12 is my, and it's not even a hard take. And if I'm wrong about it, because I predicted 2 weeks ago, we're winning this. If we win 1 or 2 of them, won't be mad about that.
No.
Not at all. And I want us to win where we have tough matchups, which is what I was just talking about. Right?
Yeah. Because, like you said, we're going to be back in there, and the Chiefs will be played again. So
Absolutely.
it's no doubt in my mind this is not the last time we're going to be seeing the Chiefs. Now, is it going to be Kelce versus Kelce all those times? I don't know, because I'm not sure if Jason Kelce is going to be back yet or not. Maybe he'll give it one more year, but I'm not sure.
Well, we got to see how old they are, right? Which I can do kind of.
I think Jason Kelce is the older brother of Travis.
He certainly looks it, right?
Yeah. So I think Jason is the older brother to Travis. I'm not sure by how much.
Jason's 35.
Okay.
Let me check on Travis real quick. 33. Yeah, not by much.
Okay.
But they're
not by much. Nope.
Early to mid 30s. So they don't have a lot of time ahead of them, right?
No. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, we can talk about this a lot, but yeah.
Well, the thing is,
it's just tough to lose to a field goal, man. When I just saw that go down, I'm just like, it just sucks, because you knew that was going to happen, and you knew they were just icing the clock off because they didn't want Jalen to get back on that field. Because again, I'm not sure if I made my point earlier, but
because they were afraid of him.
I'm 100% confident if we would have had at least a minute 15, if not a minute left on that clock, and Jalen had the ball back, we would have at least tied that game. I'm confident, 100% confident, we would have at least tied that game, if not went for another 7 points.
There were
to win the game.
Just under a handful of launches that Jalen threw way down the field, and it didn't matter who caught it. He positioned that ball to land exactly where it needed to be, and I was like, he's our guy. And I was like,
his accuracy is just spot on sometimes.
Well, and that's why I'm saying 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 in the next 12 years for sure.
Said it here, one set, fam.
We said it here. So we are recording Monday night, February 13th. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You want to tell me how romantic you are real quick? Because I am jonesing to hear about it.
Yeah. Are you taking the lady out anywhere?
I did Saturday. We were like, okay, because I teach Tuesday nights. I was like, it's not going to happen midweek. I did it on a weekend, and I can't tell you the last time I've seen her cry happy tears because she was just happy, and
Good.
that to me was like not success or yes, but she looked absolutely dynamite. We went to her favorite restaurant in Philadelphia called the Continental, and we ordered 4 appetizers and split them because that's what we do, and had a couple drinks, and it was like, okay, now what do we want to do? And it was like, let's get out of the city, and we drove to Media.
So before you go there, so I don't
ahead.
want to go too far off of it.
Yeah.
How was the vibe in the city on Saturday night? Did you kind of get any, or were you guys obviously just two folks on each other, which is fine, but did you feel like a sensible vibe from the Eagles or anything during in the city, or was it just like, you know?
So you know how we're like in our mid-30s now, right? It was the first time I felt, that's a lie, I felt old because I was at a 5 o'clock dinner reservation and it was light outside. But we couldn't stop acknowledging how many Eagles fans were just passing us, because we were sat in a booth downstairs next to the window, and it was like Eagles, Eagles, Eagles nonstop, and it was just like,
nice.
This is pretty cool. It was really fun. And neither one of us were upset about it. It was really cool. Like really cool. Because I kept saying to her, look at that color green. Look at that color green. Look at that color green. And she really like her preferences like darker colors. But like you've seen you've seen my bedroom, like the green in my bedroom.
I have seen your bedroom.
You have.
Happy Valentine's Day. Jesus.
She hates it. She hates the color of my bedroom. Because it's so vibrant, and she likes neutral colors. Like she really likes forest green. Like the green that you're wearing is very subdued, like neutral based. She doesn't like anything that's like, because she thinks it's juvenile, like childish, right?
Gotcha.
But at the same time, she's like, oh, I really like the Eagles Kelly green. I'm like, what the
whoopsie?
Because that's not a neutral color. It's vibrant, right?
It doesn't make any whoopsie sense.
It doesn't make sense, right?
But sorry to get you off your tangent. So you're going back into Media.
We were.
It's not a tangent. It wasn't a tangent, but yeah.
No, I got you. It's all good, man. It was just so weird because, you know, took her out for Valentine's dinner, and it was so early. I was like, well, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about, hey, let's get closer to home. Let's go grab a drink. And it was like, well, let's scope out, downtown. And it took like not even 5 minutes. And we just both decided, let's just go home. And
Mm-hmm.
it was awesome. We just came back here. We settled in. I don't know. It's like when you get dressed up, it's like
Mm-hmm.
if you go through all of that effort to get dressed up, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to just get dressed up for a couple hours.
Right.
But just all of a sudden, all at once, her and I were both like, yeah, we're kind of over it. And we went home. And we got changed out of our fancy gear and we got comfortable and we were like, this is happiness. We were just comfortable. It was awesome.
Yep.
Oh, so you've been there before?
In your room? Yeah.
No, just in that predicament where it's like you build yourself up to get like dressed fancy and then
yeah.
you go out and then
You get home, you're like, all right, get this stuff off and just get in a couple of clothes and you're just like, relaxing. Yeah, that's the best feeling.
perfect. It was amazing. It was so good, honestly.
Yeah, we'll probably do the same thing. We'll do like another, day for like we'll go out to eat with a little guy, and tomorrow we'll just, do something little, exchange cards. Like we aren't really doing any exchanging anymore. We'll just, do like, hey, just get a card from little guy for me and you, and because we're at that point. I mean, it's at that point like we only just give each other like gift cards and stuff, and it's more like you might as well just give it to him, make it more worthwhile.
Sure.
So we probably won't go. We really won't even go out to dinner. We'll just pick a weekend, and we'll go out to dinner then. But this past weekend, little guy had a slight fever, so we were dealing with him all weekend, which he wasn't sick or anything. He just was, fighting off something, and he was up to like on like Friday night, he was up to like 102. And we started getting worried for a sec.
Sure.
But, thankfully, by the morning he felt a lot better, and Saturday evening into Sunday night ish, like it started breaking. So like, thank God, because being with family and everybody, we were worried about trying to have him around everybody. So thankfully his fever broke, so we were cool to just be around everybody. And we had a little Super Bowl party at my parents', so that was cool to kind of just let the kids like run around, and they got to watch the first and second half of the game. And at their age, they're not really understanding the game or what's at stake at that point, but they saw the first couple touchdowns and they're like, yeah, and we're all doing the fight song with them, and they're chanting it too, so it's cool. And
y'all are teaching.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we're teaching them young. Yes,
I love it.
But
it's so good.
Yeah, but as far as Valentine's Day, we never really did too much for Valentine's Day. It's just more like we're that typical like people of like, it's just another day to go out and just have dinner or something, like, or we'll just go in and we'll stay in and watch a movie. Like, after we put him to bed tomorrow night, again, we're shooting this on a Monday, so tomorrow is going to be Valentine's Day. It's coming out on Friday, so this is already going to be happening. But we'll put him to bed and we'll just watch a movie or something and just kind of chill out. We won't really do much. Maybe have a drink, have a watch a movie or something.
Yeah,
maybe Brokeback Mountain or something.
Let me know.
I'll let you know. It's a good flick.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah. When I was
speaking of broken backs, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys are voting on the watch along poll. That's going to be coming up soon. The poll's going to be done this coming Monday. We'll put up a little thing here, and it's going to be in the description. The watch along poll is up right now. You guys can vote. We have a couple romantic comedy movies that we picked, and we want you guys to pick the one you guys want us to watch along to. So that's going to be up until Monday, the what is it, the 20th?
20th.
What's next
Yep.
Monday? The 20th?
20th. Yeah.
So that'll end just about at midnight on the 20th. So feel free to vote on that. And, we did that last month and we had a cool response to it. So we want to keep on doing that, get you guys involved in it. So, so that's a cool thing we've been starting to do this year, the watch along polls. And yeah.
Yeah. And just to let everyone know, this isn't a prediction. It's a spoiler. Brokeback Mountain
100%.
is 100% winning the poll.
Yeah, we're rigging the system here.
Yeah,
We're rigging it just like the NFL.
Yeah, that one. My buddy, who who I'm talking about, but I won't disclose his name. I texted him this morning, like right around when I texted you, and I was just like, "Love you, bro. I'm here for you. Like, if you want to talk." And he's like, "I can't." Like, because he's that diehard of an Eagles
that
fan.
diehard, wow.
Yeah. And then
I can imagine. I mean, it was a tough, like, especially for. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like a diehard fan. Like you said, how your friend is. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not a diehard fan. And I could tell he's a diehard fan. And when you are that type of like relation, like connection to a team, like it's and this is gonna be like odd to say, but it's like almost like you are on the team. You feel their pain and everything. So even though you're obviously not, but you're with them through the whole season, just like we were through the whole season. We watched the first game all the way up until the Super Bowl.
He's that guy.
A lot of emotions.
He's that guy that his heart was on the field with them while they were playing. And he was just a corpse watching the game. Like his everything was with them. Like that's how committed that he is to the Eagles. And
that's cool.
Yeah, when I told him, bro, I'm here for you when you're ready to talk. It was like, I was kind of joking, like, bro, when you want to talk, I'm here for you. And he was very seriously just like, I can't. I can't do it. And then you know what happened? We chatted for a half an hour.
There you go. I can't, but I could talk right now. It's like
he like I said, he is the absolute top fan that I've ever met, ever.
Yeah, he seems it, man.
Yeah. So Valentine's Day, when I was half a lifetime ago for me, when I was a teenager, I had two older sisters, and I watched them I shouldn't say it like that, like disrespectfully, but I watched them endure relationships, and I was like, I want to be better than what they're doing. So I took Valentine's real serious, and the one night, I forget how old I was. I was in high school, but I was supposed to be at dance, and I didn't go because I was like, it's Valentine's Day. I'm doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in trouble for it from my like directors. And when it was brought up in conversation after the fact, you know, one of the girls' moms was just like, you know, Valentine's Day isn't all it's cracked up to be. Every day should be Valentine's Day because whatever you're doing on this day, you should be doing all the time.
Every day.
All the time. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with like Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's not just one day, it's every day. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. There is like an extra day to be like, hey, I expect you to appreciate me, like me on this day. But it's also like, you know, if you did that with your wife and didn't treat her with that same effort the other 364 5 days of the year, it would be like, well, why did you put in all this effort over here on this one day, but you're just being lazy on this other day, right? So I think I got into my early to mid 20s and then just started saying it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, just let's make an effort on the weekend before or after and say, hey, Valentine's Day dinner, let's go out. Cheyenne and I exchanged only because our finances weren't great during Christmas. So we were like, hey, let's shop and get each other some gifts. And that's why I sent you the vinyls that she got me.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 years we didn't like go all out like that. But this year specifically, we were just like, let's do the thing. Right?
Yeah. It's cool when you can, and you know, spoil is like a vague word to say, but like it's cool when you can actually have the extra expense to be like, okay, I can get you more than expected, or you go out of your way to do that extra thing that they don't expect. And, you know, then you, like you said, you see them appreciate it and you're like, all right, cool. I like, not like you said, like, oh, I won that one, but like, yeah, okay, cool. I know what I did was the right thing, you know? So it's cool when you can take the extra effort and do something like that and be like, okay, I know we weren't able to do it then, but let's, you know, get a couple things now. And, you know, it's cool that you guys have, you know, divvied up a cool vinyl collection. I really dig that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And her record player, her mom got it for her, but the speaker on the one side is broken. So I'm trying to think like, okay, am I gonna get her like the same record player because she loves it? At the same time, like, okay, but how can we elevate that? How can we upgrade it just a little bit?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure that out. But the fact that, you know, she got me the Justin Timberlake record for Christmas, and then she bought me the Michael Jackson Thriller album, and then got me that Weekend and the Eminem. I'm like, wow,
nice.
she's really like she knows my taste. Like she knows who I like. It's
right.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Anth, anything before we sign off tonight? We're getting at about that time, I think, right?
Yeah. I guess I'll just plug my show that I have this weekend. Again,
100%.
It's coming out on Friday. And this will happen the next day, Saturday the 18th. So I am returning to the Flight on Ice Delco River rink in Chester, PA, which is right outside of Harrah's Casino, Harrah's, Philadelphia. So I'll be there from 4 to 8 playing in their main lobby. So feel free to come out, hang out. It's a free event. The only time you got to put up any money is if you want to, do any skating or if you want to gamble. Gambling is free, 21 plus. So yeah, that's gonna be my last gig for a little while. I'm gonna take maybe a month or two off, and I'll be back in the spring to get some other shows going, and hopefully get some writing done. But we'll still be doing this, obviously. But I'll take a little bit of break from some shows because I've been going pretty heavy the last couple months. So that'll be my last show for a couple months. So feel free to come out. I will be live streaming it. You guys can always see my live streams right on my Facebook page. I usually go on Facebook or TikTok or sometimes Instagram. You can follow all my music stuff at Spoken Like Music. Feel free to give me a like and subscribe over there for all my music. Other than that, you got anything else before we also sign off, bud?
I just it's Valentine's Day week, so I just want to tell you how much that I love you. You're my best friend. Seriously, I don't have a lot of close friends, and I thank you for your friendship, your brotherhood. To everyone else out there, this has been One Set.
Yes. Love you, man. And I'll say, love you too. Our friendship is always, a bond that never breaks. This is the whoopsie we've always said, but it's all good. But
Fair.
yeah, man.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. It's fair. But yeah, love you, dude. Again, wouldn't do this without anybody else. So, and to all our listeners, supporters, we love you too. Hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day, and we'll see you on the next one. It's been One Set.